Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorable juries, all the committees and my lovely friends. All praise is due to Allah the Almighty God who has been giving us His mercy and blessing until I can give an English speech about education in Indonesia. Standing here, I'd like to say about the quality of education in Indonesia. Okay, so far we are facing many complicated problems deals with these topics, of course. As we know, Indonesian students rank among the lowest countries of the world. Therefore, among the Southeast Asia countries, the quality of education in Indonesia is lower than Malaysia, Singapore, even Thailand. And the worst, people were shocked by the failure of many students on the last final exam. Dear audience, a big question arises to all of us. Are Indonesian students really weak to apply a knowledge and skill to tasks that are relevant to the future life? Perhaps it must be wrong to judge to that conclusion, of course, but this question is always supported by the factual situation that the outcome is not so good. There were many students at senior or junior high schools who failed on the final exam. This situation is getting worse since many companies are interested to Indonesian students from abroad only. We can find rich people to ask their son to take the programs of higher education abroad. The parents also trust the foreign institution like Australian, American, or even British schools as the best school for their son in Indonesia. They think foreign institutions or universities grant a high quality of education rather than the one in Indonesia, of course. On the other hand, there are state and private universities in Indonesia which force the student in some sort to pay a higher cost. They don't let the poor student to study there. Although they are clever, every student has to pay at least 40 to 60 millions for the school fee. It means that good education is the expensive thing to pay. We can't imagine that any opportunities to study just for the rich people alone. How come the government closed the eye for these problems? Dear audiences, with the problem facing about how we can overcome this problem, of course, I think we have to push for a better educational system with the support of the schools, teacher, government, and social society all come together at once. They have to work together to improve the quality of education better, because without any support from all, it means nothing, of course. Besides that, the government can help by giving more funds to the students or to the schools, of course. It helps to reduce the high cost for education. They also have to give the chance to the teachers to take some courses to improve their quality. Moreover, the government has to improve the quality of education itself. They can give assessment focus on how well students apply their knowledge and skills. We have to know the strength and weakness of the students, because applying knowledge and skills are more important rather than on the memorizing of the subject matter knowledge. I think if all children in Indonesia get qualified educations, Indonesia will have qualified human resources who are ready to build the nation. Of course, they don't only master knowledge, science and technology, but also have steadiness of faith. Hopefully, because education provides the most universal key to a new world and better life. We can manage and lead up everything to be better life by qualified education, of course. I think that's all of my speech. Finally, I like to forgive my fault if there's any mistakes. I'm afraid I cannot find suitable words of how I thank you for your attention. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.